Good day, everybody. This is RadiantDawn, and I bring to you my RadiantDawn normal mode tier list. The reason why I'm doing normal mode is because I've played it like 70 plus times. I've beaten the game 70 plus times on normal. Well, combination normal, easy, but I'm only counting normal at the moment. And I've actually not done hard mode because I didn't like the idea of no weapon triangle. I thought that was kind of dumb, but I'll probably do it after I do my current Path of Radiance play, and then I'll get to RadiantDawn. So, because I want to do the data transfers for hard mode, just to make life a little bit easier, I guess. But yeah, no. Anyway, so I'm on this lovely website here, and the tiers will be. I already kind of did this once, and then I realized, hey, I could separate it into parts. So I'm gonna make 4 different videos for parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 of RadiantDawn, and in part 4 I'll do a generalized revamping, reorganizing of the tier lists to make sure it makes sense to me and go over things and all that fun stuff. So let's let part 1 begin. So Micaiah, top of A. Why A? She's the main character. She's pretty decent. Her part 1 is a bit iffy, but by the end of part 1, I actually have it where she can stand in a forest. She doesn't even need the Black Knight's help. Oh yes, spoilers by the way. Black Knight's in here. Beware of spoilers. In case you didn't notice, he's down there, so that would have caught your eye in the first place. But you know, just in case. Yeah, she doesn't need Black Knight's help to survive. Typically for me, I usually end up giving her the Draco shield and I think a speed wing, and then she's perfectly fine. For part 1, I'd say she's like C. For part 2, I'd say she's more B tier, just because staff utility, she's starting to get good, she can do some stuff, but overall I'd say she's A, because end game, like throughout the entire game, her tome allows her to one-shot cavalry and generals, and one-shotting a general is something no one else in the Dawn Brigade can do, except for maybe Ilyana, if she gets a crit. But no, Micaiah, there's one boss in like chapter 4 or 5. He's kind of a tough boss. Micaiah just one-shots, just daddy mobs him, just one shot, dead. That has merit. No one else can do that. So for her, she gets top of A tier. I'm going to put Edward there as well. So how I'm going to do this is basically the S tiers. The S tiers for the units that are absolute gods. So there will probably be the Laguz Royals, the Dancers, and like the units that no matter what you do, they can't really be bad. I've never seen a single round of any of the units in S being bad. Some take more effort than others, but they can never end up bad. They could just be good, but not amazing for a little while longer, and then they still get to be amazing anyway, once they hit 3rd tier, so. And they have an easier go at getting to 3rd tier than anyone else. Leonardo. Okay, so for Edward part 1, I'd say he's like B or C. He's not all that good. Actually, give me one moment here. I'm just gonna like... Ooh, it does not like me doing that. Okay, well, Edward C tier is where he'd be like for part 1, because in part 1 you kind of struggle a little bit to keep him alive. I've had him get lucky and get killed in part 1. Once he reaches promotion though, I'd say he's a solid B. And then for final tier promotion, I'd say he's an A. He's not quite Micaiah A, but he's pretty solid. Like, for what you're going to notice is you'll probably get to see who I bring to the tower the most based off of who's in the top 2 tiers. Leonardo, it doesn't matter what you do. This guy sucks. Like, I've never once gotten a really good Leonardo. I've gotten an okay one. But so snipers typically have strength and speed and skill or something. Sometimes skill and speed. No, this guy has like skill, luck, and res. Like, who cares about any of those? Skill's good, but without speed, who cares? He gets a preferred weapon that gives him like +6 speed or something, and or +5, +6, and he still cannot double with the stat boost the weapon gives him. He's just that bad. Like, he's C tier, and he's gonna be like bottom of C. Nolan. I put Nolan in B. Nolan starts off really good. He kind of falls off, but he's still kind of relevant for a while, so I'll put him there. Laura's kind of like a weaker Micaiah, a worse Micaiah, so... I mean, she might have more speed, kind of, but Soth for part 1... Part 2, part 3... I'll put Soth in B as well. He's good in part 1, until the end. In part 3, he's pretty much non-existent. For part 4, he's pretty much non-existent. He's good for opening. He does thiefy things. But he does the thiefy things better than anyone else almost. Like, I don't think Volk can even open chests in this game, so I think Soth is the best. Ilyana. So when it comes to data transfers, if there's any unit that I think will be better with data transfers, I will make it known. And one of those is Ilyana. Ilyana without data transfer, from Path of Radiance, I'd say she's probably B tier. She's good. She could do stuff. She could do a lot of stuff. In the beginning of the game, she's one of the few, in the chapter she joins, she's one of the few who could one round Brigade or something, and no one else can do that. Like, they can double, but they can't one round them. But Ilyana can. She just one rounds, and the guy's dead, so that's pretty good. And then she kind of falls off a little bit, and then she comes back. Once she gets her promotion, she becomes really, really good, actually. But with data transfers, like, my Ilyana got, from my last Path of Radiance round, my Ilyana got what? Magic, skill, speed, and res. So what's everyone's worst problems with Thunder Magic in this game? It's nerfed from Path of Radiance. From Path of Radiance, Thunder Magic and Path of Radiance hit harder, it was more accurate, and it was lighter. In this game, it's heavier, less accurate, and it's the weakest kind of magic, because apparently being good against dragons is a really helpful thing. And it kind of is, but it's not worth nerfing that hard. It's not like Thunder Magic was broken. But with 2 extra magic, skill, and speed, she could double easier, she could hit easier, and she could damage a lot more. So with data transfers, A tier. Easy A. That's an amusing movie, that one. Aran, I put him in solid B. I put him above these two, though. Because, like, Aran in part 1, Aran's main problem is his speed stat. He doesn't really have one. His speeds, he struggles doubling, but he can easily cap strength, skill, and defense. So it's kind of easy for him to at least take hits. Even if he's doubled, unless he's doubled by magic, he's not taking much damage at all anyway. He's like a general with more movement, is pretty much what he is. So, yeah, I'll put him in B. Meg, I'll put Meg at the top of C tier. I've had a good Meg. I've had a couple rounds of good Megs. I think 3 times out of 70, Meg to the tower. And like 5 or 6 times out of 70, I've used her up until the tower. So she can be good. You just got to get a little bit lucky. Because generals are supposed to, when you think generals, what do you think? Essentially, Aran. Strength, skill, defense. A later general we get, Gatry, has strength, skill, defense, and speed. What does Meg have? Speed, luck, and resistance. Like, cool. She could double for no damage. Cool. She could double, but she can miss. Cool. She'll get taken out by physical attacks, but at least she can tank mages. Oh wait, she can't counterattack them without a wind edge. Like, Meg's typically pretty bad. But like I said, I've had a good Meg, so she deserves C tier and the top of it, just because she's turned out good sometimes. I'm gonna put Volug in C as well, because after part one, he's relatively useless. He's kind of bad in part three and four. That's all I really got to say about him. He comes with half shift. It's a good skill. Yeah. Jill, S tier, automatically. She's the first one in S tier. With data transfers, without data transfers, Jill doesn't care. Without data transfers, I've had her cap all stats except for like luck at level 18, third tier. With data transfers, she did it at about level 15. But either way, Jill's one unit where even if she starts off bad, I had one round where Jill did not get, she got like 1 point of strength, and then she promoted, but then she fixed herself immediately, and she's still capped almost every stat. Jill is a god. This girl is a god in this game. She's amazing. She's one of my favorites to use. And like, remember how I said she had a problem with strength? Sometimes she can have a problem with strength. How about with data transfers, you give her an extra two points in strength, skill, defense, and strength, skill, speed, and res. Oh no, strength, skill, speed, maybe defense too. So she can hit harder. She can wield heavier axes. She's more accurate with them, and she's faster, which automatically fixes every problem Jill could possibly have. It's amazing. Jill's just, her placement in S tier would change without data transfers, but she's still an S. I don't even care. Toronio's like Meg tier, but like in the beginning he's a little bit better, but later on, on average he's better. Actually, I'm gonna put him in B because he's still usable in part 4. He could probably be a Marshal in part 4. That's what it is, Marshal, not Sentinel. I said it's Sentinel on the last try I did. Anyway, yeah, he's still usable in part 4 just fine. He's a really good unit. I really like the guy. He can still do things. He can still damage things. He can still wall things. He's just not as invincible as he is in part 1. Zhark, I don't typically end up using Zhark all that much. Honestly, I use Meg more than Zhark typically. I know that's like a tragedy to most people, but it's just, I have Edward, and Edward tends to, in the long run, to be better than Zhark by a long shot. Like, Edward transformed from level 20, like promoted from level 20, is like 4 to 5 points higher in every aspect except maybe speed. He's like a point or two higher, or maybe a point lower depending on the Edward. But typically he's level 1 Edward Swordmaster is better than level 5 Zhark Swordmaster. On average. I've noticed anyway. Fiona. Garbage. Whoop. There you go. So the U, I'm just gonna get this started now, like get this out of my head now. The U tier is for the units that are undetermined, undecided. I can't really rate them because they're there for like 1 chapter or 2, but they're so overpowered they don't make a difference, really. Like, Black Knight is one of my undetermineds. You get to play using him in 2 chapters in the entire game. But, what about the rest of the game? Well, he's not really around, and when he's around, he's a green unit. So he's, like, absolutely unkillable in the 2 chapters he's in part 1. He's also unkillable as a green unit in part 3 chapters. But you can't say how good he is because he comes in as a boss. Like, the other one I'm putting here, actually I'm going to put Leiron here as well. He's harder to get, and he's the exact same thing. He's a tank that cannot die because plot. I'm going to put these 2 here as well. Actually, I'm going to put these three here. Because honestly, I've never used Renning. Renning can be helpful, I guess, because he's got... Actually, I'm going to put Renning back down here. Oh, no, really? Really? Can I get my stuff back? Nope. Ah, why? That didn't happen last time around. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Okay, so I said there, 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 there. Hmm. Okay. Oh, this is why it's messing me up. Okay. Hmm. Sorry, I need to fix this now. Tablet is very temperamental sometimes. Okay, SABCUF. FUC. Okay, makes sense. Leonardo was here. Zhark was here, but above Leonardo. But I typically use Meg more than him. He starts off better. Volug is right about here. And Sephron as well is here. Now, Tormod comes in and he could actually do things, which is helpful. I like it when units do things, but he's not really... Tormod definitely falls off in the end. I'd actually put Tormod below Leonardo, sadly enough, is because Tormod is around for like 2 chapters in part 1, and then he's gone till part 4. But when he comes back at part 4, he can't damage anything. At least Leonardo could damage some things. He could, on average, he could deal more damage than Tormod and take more hits. So, yeah. Moram's a solid B, because Moram starts good, he leaves, he comes back, and he's still pretty solid. I'm actually going to keep him there, because he does, when he comes back, he's more useful than Nolan, typically, when he comes back. Vika, C. She's even worse than Tormod. Vika can't kill a single enemy by herself. Tormod can, if he gets lucky. Vika just can't. Nyla is a god. She's a Laguz Royal. She's unkillable. That's it. And Raphael. Now I'm going to put all the Herons in S, but I'm going to put Raphael at the very last because he can't fly. That's my only issue with him, is he cannot fly. Yeah, Nyla. Nyla deserves S just because she, A, cannot die, like, ever, and she can turn enemies to stone, which allows units like Moram to be better, Edward to be better, Aran to be better, Soth to be better, Meg to be better. I typically use her skill against a priest, because priests can heal themselves. So, like, you can just wail on them and get free XP. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm going to break this tier list video into parts. So, that's always fun, am I right? Anyway, so if you guys have any comments, complaints as to what I've got on the tier list so far, definitely let me know. I do enjoy hearing what you guys have to say, and I do enjoy talking about RadiantDawn, so this is like my two favorite things in the world right now. And yeah, if you guys have an issue, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Please comment. Please. I love talking about RadiantDawn. And yeah, this is B8 RadiantDawn, signing off.